Did everyone get the minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
Does anybody have any comments with the minutes?
I emailed Molly, Joanna Guerrero from Senator Fernandez's office. I just emailed Molly her last name, so that would be in the record, that's
Okay.
all. That was it.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have something very unusual tonight. This is not something we do all the time, but we have one of our council people in Las Vegas, and she's on FaceTime. She wanted to support us, so welcome, Kristen.
Thank
Okay.
you. I'm at my daughter's hockey tournament, not having that much fun.
Okay,
You're not gambling? Okay,
Not yet.
not yet.
okay. So let's go to committee reports. Let's go to Deputy Supervisor Zamansky.
Okay, I received these stats late today, actually about 45 minutes ago. So for the month of June, there were 36 calls in the village of Pelham for the fly car, 34 calls in the village of Pelham Manor, 1 mutual aid call for 95, and 1 mutual aid call for the Hutchison River Parkway. The average response time for the ambulance units that back up the fly car was 8 minutes and 37 seconds. That is not the average time for the fly car. I don't have that number. We usually don't track that because it's within minutes, but we will be tracking that number as we move forward. So we know when the fly car arrives and when the ambulance arrives.
Okay.
The one more
Go
thing.
ahead, no, go ahead.
53% of the time, the flight car was there in 6 minutes and under. So that is a good stat, and with 7 minutes and under, 70%. So that is lower than the national standard. Any questions on those?
I have one question. Of the ones going to Village of Pelham and Village of Pelham Manor, how many were mutual aid for those?
For the ambulances, I don't have the county report yet.
Okay.
The commissioner in the county is going to send that, but he didn't send it today, so they had to
Okay.
call for it.
All
So
right.
when I have it tomorrow, I will distribute it. The other thing, I didn't forget about our ID pictures. I want to let everybody know. I did speak to Detective Burpee, and he is extremely busy, but he knows it's still on his list to do.
Okay.
So I would say September is probably when we're going to get them done. So that's it. Thanks, Dan.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman McLaughlin on recreation.
Our senior citizens have been very active. They had 42 medical round trips in the month of June. And coming up, we have a civics-sponsored lunch on July 17th. That'll be in the townhouse. There will be another event on July 20th, also sponsored by the Civics, called River Views, and that is a show and lunch. More details, contact the senior advocate or go to the website. On August 16th, there's a trip to Atlantic City. That's $40. That includes transportation and $20 worth of
Chips?
chips. So as I said, they're very active these days. And the ongoing events, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, are all in effect throughout the summer. They also have had several activities with a nonprofit called Volunteer with Students, VSOP. I don't remember exactly what it is. And they bring senior citizens and high school students together to create to do a common craft that then they donate to the Boys and Girls Club.
That's nice.
Yeah, and a lot of the seniors participate, and then there's a group called from the high school that participates as well. And I went and witnessed it, and it was a lot of fun. They were having a great time. A lot of conversation. It was a little slow at first, but once the snacks came out, everybody was chit-chatting. For the recreation department, the camps are underway and sold out. A few of the clinics still have a few openings later in the summer. They go on a weekly basis. Right now, last week and this week and next week, those are sold out. For any questions, see the website or call the Recreation Department office. There is a new event going on for children in special education. It's called Mindfulness Sports, and it takes place on Wednesdays. It'll be Wednesday, July 12th, July 26th, and August 9th. And it's from 3:15 to 4 p.m. on Ingalls Field. And you can see the website or call the rec department for more information. Their camp is actually has the highest, the special needs camps have the highest enrollment they've ever had.
Wow.
14, 15 kids per week. So they're taking advantage of it, which is exciting.
I also saw that the president of the Senior Citizens Club is reaching out.
On
on-
Facebook, definitely.
On Facebook and on Mops and Pops, looking for new members.
New members, wonderful.
Yeah,
So,
which was, I think, was really, really good.
Yep. She's a dynamo.
She is.
Yeah,
She's very
great.
much so, very much
And
so.
very much about bringing everybody in.
Yeah, I agree. Any other questions? Okay, this is a little unusual as well. Councilwoman Burke, do you have any legal court information?
I do. I am hearing things in a spotty fashion, and can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
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 Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to do my usual thing. So the court update, they're continuing the search for the court clerk. They posted on LinkedIn. I think, Maura, that might have been your idea at the last meeting. And they actually have a number of candidates that have come forward, and they're in the process of setting up interviews for that. The court will be closing for the annual vacation for 2 weeks in mid-August. They do that every year. I do want to point out, we had an unusual phone call the other day from the chief judge attorney for the state, and they said Pelham Court is one of the best with not having criminal disposition report errors and month-end report errors, and they sort of wanted to pick Deanna's brain, our court clerk, as to how we're doing such a good job. So I just wanted to commend the
That's very
clerks
nice.
for their good work. I do have my monthly reports. I assume I should just go through those quickly.
Please.
Okay, so the justice reports for the month of May 2023, Justice Kagan received an amount of $20,320. And for the month of May 2023, Justice Gardner received an amount of $38,940. And for the receiver of taxes for the month of June 2023, county taxes for 2023 received an amount of $64,287.82. School taxes received $50,113.68. School collection fee, $420.96. Penalties and interest, $8,644.01. Liens, $6,322.43. Miscellaneous, $110. Pro ratas, $769.62, for a total received of $131,668.52. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, Councilwoman Curtin on the library.
Novel night is happening on September 30th. and
It's
a
all
go.
over the place.
Tickets are on sale. I heard there's lots of exciting programming there. I'm looking forward to that. I think the tickets will sell out, so definitely
Are you telling us to buy them now?
get your
Okay.
tickets now. I've got a report from our library director. There's 195 kids signed up to participate in the summer reading program, and they expect more until it ends on August 18th. And there's going to be a Peloton ice cream truck at that event. A few highlights: the Bubble Bus is going to be at the library on July 15th from 1 to 2 p.m. That's for kids age 4 and up. Animal Embassy is going to be at the library with real live animals and that are represented in popular children's book. Again, 4 and up. And finally, usually Crafty Adults is on Monday night, the first Monday of the month, but this month it's my lucky month because it's July 17th. And they're going to be making needlepoint bookmarks, and I've already signed up, and you should too. And I wanted to just quickly thank Deputy Clerk Molly Girolamo for her hard work on the primary election last month. That was
Sorry, does
well
it
done.
have a Ford Explorer right there?
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you mind just moving over one spot, please? This is blocking parking.
Just go out in the first spot. Yeah.
There's two cars in one spot.
I think this is a first.
It's a first. It's never happened before, and the parking lot is a bone of contention with the police department. So we're quite anxious for the new building to be built so that we can reclaim our space in this whole building. Because it's every day that I come here, somebody's arguing about a parking spot.
That's all I have on the library. I have nothing
Which
on
has
parking.
plenty of parking.
There's plenty of parking over at the library.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
One thing, it was my understanding that tickets go on sale July 26th.
Guess what did I say?
You said buy them now.
I said buy them when they go on sale.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, July 26th.
July
At
26th.
8 p.m.
Okay.
I have a countdown clock, apparently.
Well, I hope it's not like the recreation camp. They opened it up at 8 o'clock in the morning and it was sold by,
I think,
It was
I think
pretty
it's going to
quick.
be like that. But
9
in this
o'clock.
case, it's a good idea because it's a fundraiser.
okay. I would like to do an update on the supervised report. First of all, Phil DeSimone and I and the Steve from the Children's Center have been having conversations about the playground. And the playground is not being used the way it should be being used because that's a children's playground. And there was soccer being played in there and they broke one of the doors.
Oh.
They were riding bikes in there. So Phil and I and Steve came up with an idea of putting a sign up saying what you can do and what you can't do. We're gonna move one of the cameras that are in the back parking lot over to the playground and do some other issues, which I'll get back to the board about how we're gonna keep that playground the way it should be.
I know we have a no dogs allowed, right?
That's-
But nobody pays attention to that sign because I drive by and there's got to be 15 dogs on the lawn
We will
there.
probably decide to put somebody there for a couple of weeks to make sure that these things get in place.
And I know green space is a big thing, but if that's the rule, that's the rule.
It's not a dog park.
No, it's not a dog.
I wasn't able to make the Pelham Pride Friday. I was in the hospital, but did you get there?
Yes, it was a very well attended and a lot of fun. They moved it indoors to the town hall
Right.
because of,
They called
it
me
was
on
like
that, and I said
95
that,
degrees
yeah.
that day. So-
Well, it was also supposed to be bad weather too.
Yes.
So when I spoke to whoever I
So
spoke
the
to.
combination of thunderstorms and
Right,
um,
okay.
the heat.
And then on the Juneteenth, I was asked to make the townhouse available because of the weather as well, but they didn't have to use it. Did anybody get to that?
They were
I did
outside.
not. I
was-
did not.
I
was
wasn't
there.
able to go.
I was getting out at that point. Anyway, okay, so I would like to compliment the Pelham Examiner, and specifically a Jillian Ho. She came up with a report, a summary of what we've been doing and what the town has been doing and what everybody's been doing regarding this ambulance contract, and I thought she did a wonderful job.
She did.
And she got everything right as far as I was concerned, and I want to congratulate her and the Pelham Examiner for doing that. I also want to thank George Latimer, the county executive, and Susan Spear and his staff, because they agreed to locate one of their 4 ambulances at Wilson Woods Pool. After they did that, I actually went over there and took a picture of it, just to make sure that it was there.
Yes, you sent it to us.
And sent it to everybody, so I want to officially thank George Latimer and Susan Spear and his staff for locating one of them. We had asked that previously when they first got the ambulances, but they didn't have a feeling of what the use would be and the where it was going, and they finally said that they would leave it there until we come up with a solution that I want to talk about now. Okay?
And just so you know, that is a great place because my son's a lifeguard there and they make like 5 or 6 saves a day.
5 or 6 what?
Saves in the pool?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Now,
because
there
it's a
be-
wave
Oh.
pool.
It's the wave pools.
It's a
Now,
wave
most of
pool.
them are just pulling kids out, but,
It's
you
a
know,
wave pool.
if
Right.
anything goes wrong, there's one there and it's 3 minutes to us. So it works out well.
So, just a brief, if you're not gonna read Jillian's summary, I'll just give you a quick one. We put out a RFP back in December, and we worked with a committee, and two of them happen to be here tonight, Gene Iannuzzi and Raymond, Florida. They're both very, very experienced in the EMS world. So they helped us put this RFP together, and we received two responses. We received from Eastchester, a volunteer, and we received one from Empress, who we currently with. And as you know, we've had Empress for 20 years and with a fly car, and it worked very well for 18 of those 20 years. And there's been issues, and some of them are not specific to Empress. It's all over the county and all over the state, which I've said before. Anyway, we reviewed the responses internally and with the assistance of our two industry experts that live in the community, and the board would like to thank again for all your expertise and assistance on this project. And after careful consideration, the board is actually going to make a resolution tonight and hopefully approve that we would go with selecting Eastchester to go into contract negotiations. And here's the reasons. They have a history of providing excellent service. The pricing was competitive. They're located in an adjacent community. And they also, Eastchester will help us execute the social media for the EM services, as well as recruitment of volunteers, et cetera, et cetera. So we have agreed in principle with Eastchester volunteers, but we have not finalized the contract. We hope to have everything in place shortly. We will keep the community apprised as things progress. So what I'd like to do tonight is make a motion to accept the Eastchester bid and go into contract negotiations with them. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, before we vote on it, I would like anybody on the board, starting with the deputy supervisors, to make any comments.
Just to elaborate a little bit on what you said, in relation to the social media aspect of what Eastchester will do, there'll be much more transparency, which I know people have been concerned about numbers and what's being reported. So that transparency will be there. They will also have a Facebook page for us. They will do recruiting for volunteers. They will do free babysitting classes for babysitters. They will do free CPR. They are community-based and community-focused, and that is why I think we leaned that way and want to make them as our selected vendor in '24.
Councilwoman Curtin?
I want to thank Deputy Supervisor Szymanski and Supervisor McLaughlin for working on this issue for such a long time. I want to thank our partners in government, George Latimer and Senator Fernandez, for helping us. I spoke to Senator Fernandez today, and she is committed to helping us fund an ambulance, and we're going to be working out those details shortly, and then it'll be part of the
ambulance
negotiation.
estimate is in process right now.
Yep.
It just needs to be fine-tuned on what really is necessary to be in the ambulance and what is over and above that doesn't need to be there. So we're working with the industry experts
That's
to
right.
do that.
That's
So
right. And,
Also, Jacob Halbo has offered his
we
services.
used
Good.
his email to help
Right.
a little.
And he can definitely chime in at
Okay.
any point.
Councilwoman Burke?
Hi, so technically I can't vote on this because I don't meet the exception for a remote. But of course I want to express my complete support for this. I'm so grateful for all the hard work Dan and Ray and community members Gene Iannuzzi and everybody who's here tonight. All of your support and input has been crucial to this. And I hope to be able to help in terms of the contract, and I already have some thoughts on what I know we need to have in there. So looking forward to the next piece of this.
Thank you. Councilwoman McLaughlin?
I just want to reiterate everything you've said. A lot of work, hard work has gone into this, and all of you who've shown up in the last 3-4 months to vocalize your opinions and express concern and support for moving forward with a very a new solution that's going to serve us all hopefully for.
It will be a dedicated
future.
ambulance. I just want to
Yeah.
clear that up. If there's any
Right.
question, I figure that's going to be the next question that comes. It's a dedicated ambulance to the town of Pelham.
Don't anticipate questions, let's go.
Okay, but I'm looking at my ladies in
I
the
would-
front, and I'm sure that's one of
I
their
would-
questions.
That's a fine, but now we need to vote on it.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Hallelujah. Can I introduce the Eastchester?
Yes.
Can I introduce the Eastchester people?
Sure.
We have representatives here from Eastchester Volunteer Ambulance Corps, and I would just like to ask them to stand up and say their names. This is the crew that we have been working with. It's been a pleasure. It's really common goals between their organization and our town, and that's really what is wonderful about it, so.
Jude
Thank you.
Bellarati, I'm the president of VVAC.
And back from Tennessee.
Event/support coordinator.
Nick Loros, I'm the vice president and chief of operations.
They've been very, very helpful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome. I don't know if they'll say that in a year, but.
Before we get to public comment, I see under old business sustainability update, do you have anything on that?
I do. If you just give me 1 minute, I can try to run through it quickly. I just want to give a huge thank you to Tom White. He's the Village of Pelham Sustainability Board member who just helped us complete the benchmarking of the energy of the town buildings. And so he produced this very beautiful report that we're going to file with the state, and we're going to put it on our website. And a few of us are going to go over sort of the details, and he's baffled as to, understanding how the town hall is extremely efficient, and he sort of wants to know how that came about and if any upgrades that we could do to our other buildings. So again, thanks to Tom. And we have some more action steps we're going to be taking coming up soon, potentially a new electric vehicle campaign and re-rolling out the clean heating and cooling campaign. So those are coming up in the next month or two. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
I did want to specifically thank Chief Benquith of the Pelham Fire Department. He has been a huge support and has been able to get us information where we couldn't get it before. And he's been nothing but dedicated to this project from the day we started. So I thank you, Chief Benquith, and I know you're here and you're hiding in the back, but you need a public thank you. And also, I will give credit to Chief Benquith. He's been reaching out to our fellow community leaders on the other side of the road and been trying to work with the chiefs over there so that we are all on the same level, talking the same language all together. So I give him a lot of credit
The
for
chief
that.
has been very, very helpful. Thank you. And in line with that, we will do public comment. If anybody would like to make a comment, please come up to the corner here, Molly.
Corner.
And then state your name and your address.
Go-
I will go first. Katie Keenan, 225 Elderwood. So first, would just really like to thank the board for so much responsiveness to many of us after we've expressed concerns with ambulance, and we're thrilled to hear so much progress has been made. I know with contract negotiations, we probably can't talk about all the details.
Just smile. I'm getting used to it. We've gotten used to it over here.
But I guess just to kind of reiterate some of the things that we are really eager to hear more about. One is around transparency around reporting with the new service. A second is around accountability. So certainly it sounds like Eastchester has a wonderful reputation. What things do we have to ensure we have the service that we're signing up for now, so that we don't end up down the road in a situation where we are with Empress, where maybe we don't have as much power as we'd like. And last, we all really want a dedicated ambulance.
Oh, we're getting one.
And so if there's more details about any of that, about accountability and transparency, that would be great. And then the last thing is, I remember we had to talk about the budget for this to all go through. So could you also remind us the last couple steps that would need to be approved before this could all go through?
So number two, the contract negotiations will have all the things that you're talking about.
In
in it, and we haven't gotten to that point yet, but there'll be rules, there'll be measurements, there'll be all the things that are required. The next step is to finish the negotiations and get the contract signed, and then we go to the budget process, which starts in October 18th or 15th. We put out a tentative budget on November 1st. And people can comment on that, people can come to the meeting and talk about it, and then, because that'll be publicized on the website. And then on the first week of December, when we have our meeting, we will have comment on the budget, if anybody has any comment. If there is no comment on the budget, and then the board will then vote to pass the budget and go forward from there. If in fact somebody comes and says they want to know about this, they want to know about that, we will push it off to December 18th, which is the final date in New York State for us to have our budget.
Yeah, that's a public hearing, the first December.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else?
Ashley Mills, 215 Loring.
I'm sorry?
Ashley Mills, 215 Loring.
Okay, could you face the camera? No, thank you. Okay.
My question is really just around timing, because I know that this is going to start in '24, but what do we do between now and then?
That's where we had the ambulance put at, well, first of all, we do have a contract with Empress, and that contract is still in effect. And that contract requires them to give us an ambulance if in fact the fly car requires a particular ambulance. If that doesn't happen, that's where we go into mutual aid. And that's where the county executive and Susan Spears said, you know what, we'll put one of our 4 ambulances at Wilson Woods, just so if the Empress does have a backup issue, we'll have that one there. Now, that ambulance also is going to service Yonkers and also going to service Mount Vernon, but it is at Wilson Woods, and that's what we've done.
Okay, so when you say it's dedicated, does that mean it's just dedicated to the area, or it's
Dedicated to the area.
The area.
Oh, okay.
The
So-
one from
Well,
the county, the one from the
but the-
county.
Right, the one that's for now.
But the Empress contract is the contract we are currently in, and we have a 60-day notice if you want to cancel, and we will be talking about Eastchester when we get to that point.
Okay, so if Empress is servicing the fly car,
Right?
and
It
there's-
staffs the fly car.
and then there's this other ambulance, like, is that Empress?
No, Empress is our backup.
Is
We
staffing as well?
we have a
No.
contract with Empress for ambulance service.
It's a different,
It's a different company,
Yeah,
they're working under a county contract, right?
for just a short amount
For
of time?
mutual aid.
Oh, it's still under mutual aid, okay, got it.
Right, they put that into effect, they put 4 units plus a supervisor, I believe, on it, to address the mutual aid problems in the county. Now, where they deployed them has been an issue, but there's been a lot of conversations with Susan Spear and Richard Wishney, who's the commissioner also, about relocating that unit down this way.
Right.
Because they were honestly waiting to see what we were gonna do about our own problems. And once they saw that we were on our way to addressing those things, they made those moves.
Got it. Okay, so then in the interim period between now, the next 6 months, from a transparency perspective, especially around, obviously, fly car time, but also the ambulance response time, how are you going to communicate to the public exactly what these timelines look like?
oh, I can post all of this on the website. It's in our minutes are on the website. Anybody can look at them. So if you want the detailed reports, they can go on the website also.
That'd be great.
And if you have questions, please ask, because there may be things on there that don't make sense. So I would just ask that you ask the questions if it doesn't make sense to you.
All right, thank
So-
you all for your hard work.
And next month's numbers may show a difference with that ambulance being in Wilson Woods. I don't know. I'm hoping it would decrease some of the time.
Yeah.
So this month's numbers will be important in relation to that.
This month's numbers was the lowest since
Yeah.
I've been.
What,
on the
June's
board.
numbers?
Yeah.
Lowest since I've been on the board.
Lowest total numbers or
Yes.
lowest response
Average.
time? Oh,
Oh,
average response
average, yeah,
time.
yeah.
That, by a
Well,
good
that
minute and a
ambulance
half.
was there for a couple of weeks, so
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah.
A good minute and a half
Yeah.
less.
Any other comment?
Hi, Marion Zawinski, 61st Street. So the conversation last month got me curious about the finances, and as some people here know, I filed a Freedom of Information request asking for year-to-date spending for last year and for this year so far. I've heard back, that's being compiled. But it prompted me to look at the town rules around that, and the two that seems relevant is one requires that there should be presented monthly to the board a detailed explanation of all receipts and disbursements. I just want to make sure that everybody on the board does get that monthly report.
Well, they're in my hands right now.
They're here now.
Okay, and does everybody get that every month?
They will in the future.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it sounds like this conversation has maybe prompted that, and I'm curious, because I thought that would be a.
Actually, one of the board members asked for it, in our legislative meeting, I'm the chief financial officer, and I had the approval to do the approval of budgeted expenses, not non-budget expenses, but we will now give out income and expense reports every month.
Awesome. And that makes my request really easy too to follow up on, because everybody will have that. And the other requirement was that by January 31st, the complete disbursements for the previous year would be circulated. Is that a rule that the board is following as well?
So the expenses will be there, but we usually wait for the draft from our accountants to get all of the exact numbers for the year. But yes, I mean, every month.
No, but the
yes.
state gives us the approval to postpone making that report because the accountant's report has to be done.
Yeah, we wait for the account.
Right.
The auditors.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the auditors.
That's the draft report, right.
So when does 2022's number?
We
We
got
just
it
got the
today.
draft today.
We just got them.
Just got it today.
We
It's
just,
Having looked
usually,
at it,
it's
we haven't
usually
met-
about this time.
We haven't
Yeah.
met with the accountants. What we normally do is meet with the accountants to go over what we don't understand. And there's plenty of things we don't understand, because it's a fund accounting. It's not regular accounting. And
Right.
fund accounting is totally different than regular accounting. And I'm a finance MBA, and I have a hard time understanding the funding accounting. But that's what we do, and we just got it today, as I said. And we'll probably have a meeting with the accountants, well, in July, I don't know about summer, but probably at the end of this month. And they go over all of this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comment?
Yeah, I'd just like to make one.
Excuse me for a second, Gene. I just want to tell everybody, I love you people coming here.
yeah, we do.
Because it was so boring before that. Yes, Gene.
It was so exciting, it sent you to the hospital.
Gene, I didn't see 21 Fifth Avenue. I know, I have a long drive.
Steve.
I am Newsy. I-A, two N's, U, two Z's. Gene, G-E-N-E. G.
You have to.
Okay. I just want to say that when I first got involved in this, how long ago was it now?
I'm going to say
It's a while,
October, September.
okay?
September, maybe.
I really had no expectation we'd get this far, okay? And that's because, and Ray could probably back me up on this too. We've dealt with governments plenty, okay? And I just want to say that these processes can drag on sometimes for years, where we form study groups and we get consultants and there's reports and there's this and there's that. And at the end, everybody's back where they started. That's not what happened here. There's been a few big bumps in the road, there's no doubt. But this, from the get-go, in my mind, has been a model of how governments and citizens should work together. We have done something in this county
Never been done.
that is rarely done, okay? And we've done it in a manner that is going to provide long-term success and to give us services that we did not have before. Now, with that, I've said this before, I'll say it again. The paramedics and EMTs who work for Empress, regardless of the decision on this contract, regardless of whatever issues there have been, those individuals have served this community for a long time,
Absolutely.
and they deserve our thanks, and they deserve our respect.
Yes, you're
And
absolutely
Gene,
right.
And I admitted that, and I should have said
I
that.
know that, Dan.
I should have said
I
that.
do, and I'm not trying to say it was a deficiency, it was just my personal feeling. What I hope happens now, moving forward, is that all of the energy that's been out there on this issue becomes a collaborative energy. That those who have in the past will stop looking for other solutions, questioning why this one was the solution, et cetera, okay? It's time for us to come together as a community, support this service going forward, and grow our involvement in that service. EMS is not, as I've said this before, it is not either a revenue drain or a revenue source. EMS is infrastructure. It is part of a community, as certainly as a school, the roads, sanitation, fire, police, whatever. Looking at it any other way is going to just replicate the mistakes that have been made in other communities.
Because it's not an essential service at this particular point.
Whether it's essential or whether it's not, we've decided
It's essential.
that it's essential to us to improve what we have. And most importantly, and I say this to all the people in my EMS community who think that simply making it an essential service is the answer. It doesn't mean a damn thing if you don't put the money and the resources behind it. And that's what we've accomplished. There's still things to do,
Yes.
no doubt. But I want to congratulate all of you and my fellow community members who've come out and have taken an interest in this,
Yes.
okay? We are doing something that's very important here. And as a resident of this town, and as somebody who spent his professional career involved in emergency services, this is way better than I thought we were gonna get. Okay?
We were shaking our head, but here we are.
And, you know, there's still some people in this wide community that we have who, when you bring up some of these things, it's, go away, kid, you bought me, okay? Not in this room.
Thank you.
Nobody here has done that,
Thank you.
and you are to be commended for that.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
I thank you. happy to have participated in this.
It's
in
my
whatever
understanding,
way I could.
Gene, that this is a trailblazing move, is it not? It's my understanding that
It's
it,
definitely something that hasn't been done in a while.
right,
Yes.
and that is one of my understandings, that it's a state of the art, as people would say, or,
Whether, we could debate about state of the art, that's a whole other story.
well, maybe I used the wrong words, it's
State of the art.
cutting edge.
We've come together as a government. We've got 3 governments working on this, okay? Some of them that didn't even know they had to work on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, surprise, they did,
Yeah.
okay? There's still more things to do.
Yep.
But we have a foundation now for doing it. So,
Thank you.
anyway,
Thank you,
that's.
and thank you for all your efforts.
Yes, you and
On
Ray.
our behalf.
And Ray, we'll have to talk about the next steps now that we have the,
Yeah, I would, I'd be more than happy to be involved.
No, you are involved.
You can check out anytime you like. Never-
Exactly. Hotel
But
California.
I would suggest, and, to take some burden off of you, I mean, and EMS committees, with the discussions about transparency and accountability, there may be things that, you guys may not see that I might. I'm 40 years in this business, so I've picked up a few things along the way.
it's a good
So,
suggestion.
I'd be more than happy to maintain my involvement.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And
So I guess you
just
didn't
to
tell him he
repeat-
was involved.
Oh, I did tell him he was involved.
Just to repeat what Gene said, you're talking about groundbreaking. The system that
EVAC.
Chichester has is an amazing system. I know it, I know the people there, some of my people have worked with them, and the difference is community involvement. They're a community-involved service. That makes all the difference in the world. It's not a venture capital company that's coming in, and whether they provide a service or not, they're worried about their balance sheet. These guys are worried about the community.
Yep.
And that is the difference. That's the key difference. And that's where you're gonna see a vast difference in the type of service and the level of service that you use.
As well as the communication, because we've already felt the communication between us as we've moved forward in this, so, yes, I agree. And some of it is work in progress, we have grant money coming in, so we're
Always
massaging
work in
all of that as we do this.
As long as it's forward progress, like
Yeah.
my golf game. As long as it doesn't matter how far, as long as it goes toward the hole, I'm happy.
Okay. Thank you very much. Do I have a motion to end the meeting?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Once again, I thank everybody for coming.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks
Really
for your,
do.
everything, your emails,
And
everything.
thanks, East Chester, for coming,
Yes,
showing your
thank
face.
you.
Thank you.
That really means a lot.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, I'm sorry, yes. Kristen, I'm sorry. I
We
forgot.
can make it,
I
I
forgot.
went so fast, I couldn't